crafty friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are making a Halloween card using the Avery Elle Frightful Fun stamp and die set, along with pattern paper from the Fall Fun paper pad from Cartabella. I've already picked my pattern out that I'm going to use as my color inspiration. And if this is still available, I will link it. If not, I'll find something similar. It's been super popular, so it may be out of stock currently. But here is my paper that's my inspiration for my colors. And I have already stamped out my little images that we are going to color today. So we are going to get started. I am going to start with my little piggy, because I think he's adorbs. And I'm going to use Copic markers today, the ones that I have. I may have to supplement some with the other markers I have, my Olos, so we will make do with what we can. Okay, for my little devil pig, which is funny, I'm going to use E59 for my shadows. This is a nice red-brown, or brownish red. And I want this to have a little bit of brown in it anyway to darken it up. So we're just going to come along there. Then I'm going to switch to R29. I will come along right over top of our previous color and bring that out just a little bit. Because it is a nice fall color palette, I wanted it to have that little bit of transition in there to help make it stand out a little bit. All right, now I'm going to come in with R27 as my mid-tone. Going to bring that out, and then my lightest color will be R22 as my highlight. I may have to bring that other color back in. That's okay after everything dries. So for his ears, I'm going to go with the R27 and just a little bit of that R22. Okay, now for our little piggy skin, I'm going to go E33 as my darkest color. And I just noticed I forgot his little tail. And I'm going to go to E11. So just know you don't have to have every color. I don't. I have very few select colors. I'm going to blend that out with E00. It looks like my ink's not completely dry. It's okay. All right, we're going to add him some little rosy cheeks. And I'm going to do that with R22 add a little bit into his ears, and then I'm going to blend that out with R20. And then we need to do his little hoofs. Since they're so small, I'm just going to go in with the the 110. And we'll do his little spider as well. And since I'm going to blend that, I'm going to switch over to an Olo marker. I'm going to go in with my Cool Gray 7. Our little monkey's pouch here. So we're going to add a little bit of that 29, R29. And on our little witch's cap. And we will switch to R27. R22. Okay, for our little pumpkins, I'm going to go in with YR7 as my darkest color. So I'm going to go ahead and add that one there. We'll do this one. And we'll have that one the same. And I'm going to blend those out with YR04. So they're super small. And then YR02 is my lightest. Okay. Now, for my other pumpkins, I'm going to go in with YR24. Is my darkest color. YR23. And then I'm going to come in with YR02 and blend those together. Just so that we have a little bit of a different pumpkin look. And it helps represent the colors in the paper. Okay, for my moon, I'm going to come in with E35, YR24, and we'll go ahead and add some of these into our little stars here also, the YR24. I'm going to come in now with YR23. Which is my mid-tone. And then YR20. To blend that out. To add my little highlight. Our mummy's wrappings. We're going to use E35 and E33. So I'm going to start with my darkest color. And where I want my shadows to be. They are pretty small, so remember, anywhere an object overlaps another object, you're going to have a shadow. So we're going to come in now and blend that out with the E33. Keep blending. And I'm also going to add in a little of the E11. And blend that out a little bit more with the lightest color. We're going to go with G29, G28, and G24. So I'm going to start with my darkest color on his shell, a little bit behind here. Blend that out. That. And for a shell, I'm just going to do the 28 and the 29. While we have that combination out, we're going to go ahead and do our little witch's skirt. G28 is my mid-tone, so I'll pull that over. And then we'll come in with our G24 and work that blend. I'll bring in Y38. I'm gonna add that into here. And I'm going to use it as my darkest shade on my little mouse over here, his little pumpkin outfit. And then I will switch up to Y06, sorry, Y8. Then YR04. We'll do our stem. That's so small. I'm just going to use the G29 and a little bit of that G28. Okay, I'm going to keep my G29 and I'm going to bring in some yellow green shades. So I'm going to start with Frank's little top. Then I'm going to go to YG9. Blend that out. Then we're going to go to YG06. My lightest green and some of those little leaves over there. And then I'll blend that out with YG03. All right, I'm going to use the YG9 and that same combination on the witch's hat. So that's the YG9. Or YG6. And YG3. We need to add a color to our little stems. See, for her top, I'm going to go with E33, E31, or E51. Just to have there's more of that little brown shade in there. But I wanted to keep it kind of soft as well, kind of more on the creamy side. Okay, for our little Frankenstein, I'm going to switch back to my Olos. And I'm going to color his little hair. I'm going to go with CG7. CG5. And CG3. Color that in, blend that out. So just blend that. And then I'm going to do WG9 for my raccoon's little tail. And her little mask, the darkest part of that. And I'll switch to WG7. Making sure to come up along or away from those eyes. I'm going to come in with WG5. For my lightest color on that. Then for the rest of her, I'm going to go WG3. WG1. And our last one is WG0. For our little shoes, I'm just going to go WCG9 and fill those in. Okay, for my little monkey, we're going to go E59, E57, and I'm sorry, E59, E37, and E33. I'm going to use E59 as my darkest color. Even though I could go super like, could have done him green because he is Frankenstein. We're just going to add our shadows in there. I'm going to blend that out with the E37. E35. Just want him to have a little bit of color onto his little face. Then my lightest color is that E33. Okay, for my little mouse, I'm going to go with E33, E53, and E51. Just going to put my dark color where I want it to be the darkest. When you're matching pattern paper, it kind of dictates your color palette, and it changes things that you normally might color something else. So I always think about that. Don't let yourself tear down to just what you know something or think something should look like. Go with what you're matching. It'll actually make your life a lot easier. So we're going to come in with that E51. And then I'm going to bring in my R20 and add some of that into his little ears, as well as her ears and our monkey's ears. Then they all need some rosy cheeks. So I'm going to come R20 on my lighter characters, and then I'll blend that out with my E93. For my other little characters, I'm going to give them, use the R22 and just a little bit of that R20. Okay, I'm going to cut these out with their matching dies, and we'll be right back. All right, so for my background, I'm going to ink blend a panel that I'm going to end up die cutting a frame out of. And I'm going to use my cloudy stencil brush. See, I want that at the bottom. Just want it to look like the sky is, the sun is hitting the clouds. As it's setting. And that was spice marmalade, and this is mustard seed. And then I'm going to take what we had on this brush, the fired brick, and just add a little bit down in here. And then I'm going to use my grassy stencil. Place that on. There, and I'm going to ink blend some greens, and I chose Rustic Wilderness and Peeled Paint. I'm going to start off with my Peeled Paint because these were more fallish color and matched more of my pattern paper. So we can turn that around, and we'll move this one down slightly. One enough to give it a little darker shades in there. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. Just like that. Right, I have my card base, which is just a standard A2 card, and I'm doing the landscape this way. Excuse me. And I'm going to stamp, funny, we're just going to stamp Happy Halloween on the inside. And then I'm going to add our little devil pig in there also. And I'm just going to stamp that in fired brick. So we have a nice good impression. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment on the outside. So I'm going to use Which Way to the Candy. I'm going to stamp that in VersaFine Clair. Not turn ink. All right, I do want to add a little bit more to the outside edge of my card. I'm going to come in with some ground espresso. I want to add just a little bit of dark brown around the edge. Since we are doing, it's more of a nighttime scene, so I want to add a little bit of darkness in there, or getting dark. So we're just going to add a little bit of that. And I cut this out using the, I think it's the pinking dies. I have it listed below. But that just kind of brings your eye in, and it adds in more of our little brown color. So I'll move that. We'll move our early espresso, or ground espresso. All right, I've got my card base. I'm going to go ahead and attach my pattern paper. So we're going to use the leaf pattern here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to the card front. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's going to fit the entire front panel of our card. Then I'm also going to add in this panel as well to add a little bit more, little pop of color in there. And it's just 2 inches. I think it's 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches by 5 1/4 or 4 1/4. Then I will take and add that to our panel. And I think I'm going to pop this layer up. So I'm going to add some foam tape behind there. And then we will start adding the rest pieces of our card. I hope that y'all are enjoying this series. I'm sure have enjoyed creating the projects for y'all. We got a few more days left with this one. And then we will do some fall cards. And then we will be moving into the Christmas card series. Let me pull in my guys here. So some of them are going to be hanging off as well. I have our little scene here. I'm going to go ahead and attach my moon. And go ahead and attach some of the little stars. Because it is getting night, so we would have a few stars up in the sky. So we'll just go ahead and attach those in. Okay. We're going to need a little pieces of foam tape behind some of them. So we'll just add some little slivers. I just adore the little pig in the Devil's costume. He just makes me laugh. Just makes me laugh, y'all. Go ahead and tuck in my little pumpkin. Right over there. I always loved Halloween as a kid. I liked to dress up. I had the best time. And we didn't have a lot of store-bought costumes. We had to be original and make stuff most of the time. And Mom, that's probably why I'm so creative, because Mom encouraged that so much. For us to be super creative with our stuff. So that's probably why I get so creative. And I have my last little pumpkin here. I'm going to tuck down right under here. Right, here's a look at my Frightfully Fun Halloween card. And there's inside of our card. I'll hold it up to the camera. I think I'm going to add some Stardust stickles, but I'll think about that in a minute. I'll probably do that off camera. But there's a look at the card. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you're probably going to like the one coming up right there. Bye, guys. Stay crafty.